Welcome back to the channel. Today we're getting back into reality transurfing. This is chapter 27 or day 7, chasing the reflection. And at the end of this video, of this chapter, of this lesson, I'm going to give you an exercise on how to take an inventory of your thoughts and eliminate every occurrence of the particle not, or dissatisfaction, reluctance, rejection, disapproval, hatred, lack of belief in your own success, and so on. And then we're going to capture all of those negative beliefs in your mind, and we're going to cast them out. And I'm going to give that exercise at the end of this chapter. This is chasing the reflection. I really enjoy this chapter. All right, so how does a person usually respond when they see something manifesting that they do not want in their life? The everyday mind tries without success to manipulate the reflection in the mirror, when in fact it is the image itself that must be changed. It's like, watching someone looking in the mirror and they don't like what they see, and then them getting upset at the mirror or the reflection in the mirror, but they're not upset at themselves. They're not trying to change themselves. They're trying to change the image that they see, and they're getting upset at that. Looking at someone and how ridiculous that would be to see someone, and that's what he gets into right here. The image represents the focus and quality of our thoughts. Imagine how ridiculous it looks to see a person standing in front of a mirror trying to catch hold of the reflection so that they can create something from it. You have to tear your eyes away from the mirror and let go of the short-sighted intention to turn the world in the direction you want it to go. So looking within is what he's saying. You want to change something in your world. You want to change something about yourself or anyone in your world. You look within. There's no one to change but self. And that's what he means here. And purposefully send your thought forms out into the world and adopt a positive attitude. Everything will turn out just the way you want it to. So here's the interpretation here. Make an inventory of your thoughts and eliminate every occurrence of the particle not. Dissatisfaction, reluctance, rejection, disapproval, hatred, lack of belief in your own success, and so on. Take all this rubbish, shove it in a sack, and chuck it on the rubbish heap. Your thoughts should be focused on what you like and want. Your feelings, basically. Your feelings, your energy, your frequencies should be on what you like and what you want in your world as already being done. So that feeling state that you're going to be in, visualizing the end or affirming the end scene, that's what your mind, that's what your thoughts and all of your intentions should be focused on at all times. So that's why we're going to do this exercise, because a lot of times people are stuck in the past and they're focused on all these thoughts of disbelief and dissatisfaction, reluctance, rejection, all these things that have happened in the past is keeping you from staying in that frequency or those energies of everything that you want to have and everything you would like to have in your life. So then only the good stuff will be reflected in the mirror. So once you do this, only the good stuff will be reflected in your mirror, and you'll start to see the changes in your life, basically. When you start to do this, your manifesting abilities will increase. You'll start being able to visualize and affirm, and your mind will be focused and habitually focused in the future rather than the past and all your limitations and all these other things that we just went over. On the other hand, be prepared for it to take some time before you begin to observe positive changes in your personal world, or for the opposite to happen with all sorts of unpleasantness creeping in. So basically, sometimes when you create something, that's why Neville Goddard gave such an air of warning, or he gave that caution when trying to create something really big. Because if you're raising your concept of yourself to a very, very high level of being a very successful entrepreneur, business owner, or owning corporations or whatever you're trying to create, and your level of yourself is nowhere near that type of person that could sustain that type of wealth, then you're going to have to go through some unpleasantness in order to develop your new identity, in order to sustain that type of business or whatever you're trying to create into your world. So be prepared for some, like what he says, unpleasantness to come into your life in order to develop you. I mean, this even can come towards relationships. If you're trying to create a relationship with a specific person, sometimes that's going to take you to another level with your version or your identity in order to create this person in yourself that this person would be now attracted to. That can also happen a lot because there's no one to change but self, and everything else will reflect that change. So if your belief system's on a specific relationship, like this person may be too good for you right now, and you have this unconscious belief about that. So if you're trying to manifest a relationship, you're automatically going to raise yourself up, your identity, because you're assuming you're now with this person. So now you're going to change your lifestyle. You're going to, maybe start eating healthier, maybe start going to the gym, maybe start making more money. You're going to start doing all these things. You're going to start capturing this person's attention that you're trying to establish this relationship with. And then that person's going to notice you. Then that person's going to want to be with you. And then that relationship will come together. And that's what he means. Sometimes you're going to have to go through some sort of unpleasantness, like saying, no, I'm not going to eat those pastries, or I'm going to go to the gym every single day. I'm going to watch what I eat. I'm going to sleep better. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make sure I go to bed earlier. I want to make sure that I'm waking up and I'm doing these productive things in my world. And if you're used to living a very lazy life and undisciplined life, these things are going to be unpleasant to you, because now you're having to discipline yourself to actually make and accomplish things and being productive, because you're not used to that. So it's going to be unpleasant for you until you develop this new identity or this new version of yourself that is now disciplined and is worried about, and that takes care of himself or herself, the health and fitness and career wise, all of these things may be a bit unpleasant because you didn't have that discipline in your old version, but now you've created this new version of yourself, and now you require to make some changes. So it's going to be unpleasant because you're going to be disciplined now. So you're going to have to get over that barrier, of being a disciplined person rather than an undisciplined person. So it's going to be some unpleasant. It's not going to be something super simple. You're going to have to redevelop. You're going to have to develop yourself in order to become this new person. But ultimately, this is a very, very good thing for you, and you're going to be very, very happy you did it when you overcome it, because you're going to look back and you're going to say, "Wow, I'm so glad that I disciplined myself." And you're going to look back at the old version of yourself and be like, "I cannot believe that I was that person that did all those things. I'm so happy now that I've changed my version of myself and I went through all that unpleasantness." You're going to be happy and you're going to be grateful for the unpleasantness after it's all happened and you've graduated to this new concept of yourself. And it's kind of like what Vadim Zeland says right here. So these are all just a temporary inconvenience associated with moving to a new level of relationship with reality, or your reality. As you know, the mirror works with a delay factor. You have to hold the frame. So the delay factor is the fourth dimension. Okay, so we live in the three-dimensional world. The fourth dimension is a time space. So time is we're passing through time. So there's going to be, that's what he's saying here. There's going to be a delay factor with time because we don't live in the fourth dimension. We live in the three-dimensional world. So we're just passing through the fourth dimension, which is time, which everything has already taken place. But that's what he means is going to be a time interval that's going to take place before it actually comes. So you have to take hold, or you have to hold the frame no matter what. So he's saying, do not waver. Do not waver. Hold the frame no matter what. Quietly hold the pause for a bit while nothing is happening. It's just like the fairy tale when they say, don't look back or you'll turn to stone. I don't know what on earth is going on in the mirror, but I know this. The mirror has no choice. Sooner or later, it will have to reflect the image I am creating in my thoughts. So it's just like that. Imagine looking in the mirror. You're looking in the mirror. It's not the mirror's fault if you don't look the way that you want to look. It's actually your fault that the mirror is just reflecting back to you what you're giving it. It's just reflecting back the image of you. So the mirror doesn't have a choice right here. The mirror has no choice. Sooner or later, it will have to reflect the image that you are creating in your thoughts. So you change your thoughts, you change your identity, you change your conception of yourself, and then you're looking in the mirror, and then the mirror is going to reflect back a different version of you, a different world once you change all of these things. So as long as you stand your ground and are not tempted to look back, the mirror will create your reality. Everything will be the way you want it to be. All right, so for the exercise, I want you to have a pen and a piece of paper with you somewhere relatively close to you all day long. So you're going to be observing your thoughts for a few days, okay? Do this for a few days and just keep this pen and piece of paper with you. And you're going to be automatically keeping an inventory of all your thoughts. So whenever something comes up with the particle not, like he says right here, eliminate every occurrence of the particle not in your thoughts. So do this inventory. do this inventory throughout the day as you're going through your normal routine. And if anything comes up that involves dissatisfaction, reluctance, rejection, disapproval, hatred, lack of belief in your own success, and so on, take that and write it down and then shove it in a sack and chuck it on the rubbish heap, which would be basically writing all this down and at the end of the day, crumbling up, tearing it up and throwing it in the trash, lighting it on fire in a safe way, of course, and then getting rid of that. So writing all that down and being and observing these thoughts is going to be a big part of this. Once you observe them, once you start training yourself to observe and start noticing these lack of beliefs in your own success and this disapproval, this hatred, this anger, these things, these negative thoughts that are coming up in your mind, that's going to be the biggest part of this. Just observing that and then not even just writing them down, but just observing that and training your mind to see those thoughts and doing that inventory and observing your thoughts and then getting rid of those. So write them down, tear them up, throw them away at the end of the day, and then you'll start noticing all of these limiting beliefs based on your success, your belief in your own success. So you want to get rid of all the lack of that, okay? So if you have any lack of belief in your own success, hatred, any of that, write it down, get rid of it, tear it up at the end of the day, and get done with it. Just like he says right here, chuck it on the rubbish heap, okay? So put it in a sack and chuck it off the rubbish heap, or throw it away in the trash, light a fire, put it in the fireplace, whatever, do something like that. All right, guys, I love you, and I'll see you in the next video. And don't forget to give me one thing you are grateful for. And also sign up for my YouTube membership, because I'm going to be doing 2 live events every single week. Unfiltered question and answers, going to be going over my grandfather's story, going to be doing unfiltered things that I can't do on the regular channel, but I'm going to be doing that on the YouTube membership channel. There should be a link right on the front of my channel page where it says membership. You can sign up right there. I'm going to be doing 2 live events every single week for you guys, and they're going to be unfiltered question and answers because I'm no longer doing coaching. So I want to be able to answer everyone's questions and just hanging out with you guys and telling stories about my grandfather, everything that he went through, and even all the VIP meeting stuff and everything. I can really break all that down. You can ask me any questions you want and I will answer them. All right, guys, I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to sign up for the YouTube membership for the unfiltered 2 live events every single week. All right, guys, I love you, and I'll see you in the next one.